The rain had just started when Alexander Reed, the youngest CEO in the city's history, walked into the quiet little restaurant tucked away on a corner street. He wasn't supposed to be there for himself. This was his best friend Daniel's blind date, but Daniel had fallen sick at the last moment and begged Alex to go in his place so the woman wouldn't feel stood up. Alex wasn't a fan of blind dates, or any dates, for that matter. His life was work, work, and more work. But Daniel had saved his company from a legal disaster once, and Alex couldn't say no. He arrived 5 minutes early, his sharp suit perfectly pressed, his black hair neatly styled, and his cool demeanor in place. He expected a glamorous, high-maintenance woman, someone like the type who usually chased wealthy men. Instead, the girl who walked in took him completely by surprise. She was wearing a simple floral dress, clearly second-hand but clean and well-pressed. Her shoes were worn but polished. Her hair was pulled into a loose bun, a few strands framing her soft, delicate face. And her eyes, warm, brown, and curious, met his with a hint of nervousness. "Hi, you must be Daniel," she asked, her voice gentle, hesitant. Alex hesitated. Technically, he should correct her, but something in him wanted to stay in this moment a little longer. "Yes," he said finally, sliding out of his chair to greet her. "And you must be Emily," she smiled shyly, her hands clasped together. "Sorry, I've never done this before." They sat down, and Alex found himself strangely relaxed. Usually, he hated small talk, but with Emily, it was different. She didn't talk about designer brands, expensive vacations, or high society gossip. She asked him about his favorite books, whether he preferred sunrises or sunsets, and if he had ever cooked a meal just for fun. She told him about her job at a small bookstore, how she lived in a tiny apartment with a leaky ceiling, and how she sometimes skipped meals so she could feed the stray cats in her neighborhood. Her laughter was soft and unpretentious, like she wasn't trying to impress anyone. As the evening went on, Alex noticed something unusual. She never once asked about his job, his money, or his status. To her, he was just a Daniel, a man she was meeting for the first time. When their food arrived, Emily's eyes widened at the beautifully plated dishes. "This is way too fancy," she whispered. "You didn't have to do this." Alex chuckled. "I wanted to." And for the first time in a long time, he meant it. They talked until the restaurant was almost empty, the rain outside having turned into a gentle drizzle. Alex walked her home, the two of them sharing an umbrella. She told him stories about the stars, about her dreams of opening a small cafe someday, and he found himself listening, really listening, in a way he hadn't with anyone else. At her doorstep, she smiled up at him. "Thank you for tonight, Daniel. I had a wonderful time." Alex's chest tightened. He almost told her the truth then, that he wasn't Daniel, that he was Alexander Reed, CEO of a multinational corporation, but he didn't want the magic to break. So he just nodded. "Me too, Emily." For the next few days, Alex couldn't get her out of his head. He canceled meetings just to walk past the bookstore where she worked, always staying out of sight. He bought books he didn't need just so he could hear her voice when she helped other customers. Finally, he couldn't take it anymore and walked in one afternoon. Emily looked up, surprise flashing in her eyes. "Daniel," she smiled. "What are you doing here?" Alex smiled back, though his stomach twisted with guilt. "I wanted to see you." They spent the afternoon together, wandering through the park and talking about everything and nothing. Alex noticed the way her face lit up when she spoke about her favorite authors, how her eyes shone when she described the way she wanted to decorate her dream cafe. Over the next few weeks, they met often, coffee dates, walks, movie nights at her tiny apartment. Emily still believed he was Daniel, a simple man. And Alex, for the first time, didn't feel like the CEO who had to keep his guard up. With her, he could be just a man. One evening, as they sat on her couch, Emily looked at him with a serious expression. "Daniel, can I tell you something?" "Anything," Alex replied. "I know you're not rich. And that's okay. I don't care about that. But I've been hurt before by people who weren't honest with me. So please, just always be real with me." Her words pierced him. That night, Alex barely slept. He knew he couldn't keep lying. The next day, he asked her to meet him at the park. When she arrived, he was standing by a bench, looking more serious than she had ever seen him. "Emily, my name isn't Daniel," he began. Her eyes widened, confusion and hurt flashing across her face. "My real name is Alexander Reed." I'm the CEO of Reed Enterprises. I wasn't supposed to be on that date, it was for my friend. But when I saw you, I couldn't stay away. Emily stepped back, shaking her head. So all this time, you've been lying to me? Yes, and I hate myself for it, Alex admitted. But everything else was real. Every laugh, every moment, every word I said to you, I meant it. She was quiet for a long time, tears welling in her eyes. I don't care about your money, Alex. I just wanted you to be honest. I know. And I promise you, if you give me another chance, I'll spend the rest of my life proving I can be. The sincerity in his voice made her pause. Slowly, she stepped closer, her hands trembling. Don't make promises you can't keep. I won't, he said firmly. She searched his eyes for a long moment before finally nodding. Okay, one more chance. Relief washed over him, and he pulled her into his arms. For the first time in years, Alexander Reed wasn't thinking about business deals or board meetings. All he cared about was the woman in his arms, the woman who had made him fall in love at first sight.